Welcome back, guys. We are here at the LCK for more fun stuff. DAMWON up against GRIFFIN, and DAMWON finally take a win up against GRIFFIN. BeryL able to pick up the MVP on his Alistair once again. The guy is a god on the pick, and he showed it off today. But it wasn't just him. I feel like DAMWON overall won in the draft. They played better in the laning phase, and then they won in the end of the game. So GRIFFIN doesn't look like there will be any subs, so your prediction LS becomes correct. Doran will be staying in. And GRIFFIN have a very big question on their hands. Are they just going to lose again against a team that they've beaten up until this point?
Well, GRIFFIN definitely are looking uncharacteristic from their former self, where they're looking very slow, very out of tempo, and unwilling to seemingly make some aggressive moves. And we'll see here how they approach this ban pick, as what you were pointing out to me off or during the break was, remember, Doran, he selected the Vladimir into the Jayce, and then proceeded, I don't know what's up with me today.
Yeah, I had this a couple of days ago. I don't know. Some days you're just, your words, they fumble out all over the place. It happens.
Well, Elementalist is being banned away by DAMWON. Yeah, they don't want to mess with that, as they're going to go with, what would Jayce be, a gunslinger? Brawler? Robot? What is he?
Robot, yeah, definitely.
Robot something. I don't, no.
Look at that joint line, he has to be a robot.
Absolutely.
That can't be man-made.
That is an impressive jawline.
Yeah, he's looking good.
He's had some, he's probably had some plastic surgery.
Ah, you never know.
That is, well, unless he's related. Maybe Jayce is one of John Travolta's sons.
Yeah, I mean he looks like he's from the
Long
60s,
lost.
where every guy had that jawline, right? And all the pictures, that's all you see. So it's just the way it was back then.
GRIFFIN, they're gonna lock in the Irelia and the Ezreal. We don't know where the Irelia is heading just yet, and now it's gonna be on DAMWON to respond, as Kaisa is going to be selected now by DAMWON. And what will be the pick to accompany this? There's only one jungler banned at this point in time. I don't think there's really a need to pick a jungler here. A support pick would probably just be better. It does look like Taric.
Really?
Oh,
no.
Never mind.
Corki is available, and ShowMaker is on the Rift. You're picking Corki.
There's only one way to finish this off, Azir. That's the true climax. As Braum right now being hovered. Now, Braum isn't as good in this spot as he was in the previous game. Jayce is already taken away, and you're not probably thinking to pick up Zoe. So we'll see what GRIFFIN's now going to ban away. They pinch the jungler pool most likely and then lock in their jungler to try to restrict access, but instead they're going to ban the Nautilus. So maybe they will try to go for some sort of semi-poke comp with the Irelia being the primary bruiser. Sejuani now banned away. Holy Bear.
Oh boy.
He's quite good in TFT.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's big nowadays.
Yeah.
Vola Brawler, definitely check it out. And the Zoe makes a bit more sense. But yeah, just giving credit to BeryL, who's played a lot of Volibear in the solo queue, I believe. So just saying, no, we do not want to go up against that.
And the thing is that even if you pick Zoe, it wouldn't totally fit the comp given what DAMWON already has available to them. And now instead, they're going to go a little bit wonky. This is going to be an Ezreal that's going to be trying to pick up the pieces from the damage that Aatrox and Irelia can leave for him in their wake.
Yeah.
And now DAMWON, they just have to respond. There's only one real source of poke, and DAMWON already has two for them. The Kaisa, extremely flexible. All you have to do is pick disengagey type of champions. And the Ezreal would not be able to do enough. It looks like Rakan being hovered, locked in, and now it's on them to come up with a jungler. Lee Sin being hovered for Canyon.
Yeah, and it will be locked in. I was thinking maybe we'd have the return of the Jarvan, especially after a pretty good performance in the last game by Canyon on the Silas, but instead the Lee Sin, so he wants to make some plays here. We still don't know what will be the choice for Tarzan, and it's going to be a Zac. Okay, don't see Zac every day nowadays, but he is going to bring it back.
This is really an interesting pick. Oh. Okay. All right. It is going to be Jungle
Don't get
Zac.
too excited over there.
I was getting a little confused right there. Now, I really hope that he goes for the Majin Buu Zac, not just regular Zac.
Okay.
It would leave much to be desired.
Yeah.
You know? It would look like, what was the name of the movie? The green Zac? Is it Flubber?
Flubber, yeah.
Flubber, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not
No.
not that good.
No.
But
River Spray.
yeah,
Is what I think
River.
nowadays. Little blob.
What if River Spray is just one of the Zac droplets that got away?
Yeah, it could be.
It could be.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean any harm.
Just from the river.
Yeah.
Just trying to play TFT, you know?
There's
Just
probably
trying to
a lot
live
of,
out life without battling anymore. Just auto-battling.
lots of good life building blocks in the river on Summoner's Rift as Jayce, Lee Sin, Corki, Kai'Sa, and Rakan is the team composition here for DAMWON. Lots of poke, as I already mentioned, lots of gears and flexibility. It's another scary team composition for GRIFFIN to try to go up against. As now, right here, Ezreal, Braum, Aatrox, Zac, and then at the top side of the map is the Irelia. So this team composition, it does have some scaling components inside of it, but a lot of their timings are mismatched. Dragon RNG is going to be something that they need. And the Zac is going to have to make a lot of work happen, lots of pressure on Tarzan.
Wouldn't be the first time that we've seen it from him. We're getting a zoom in on the player's screen. Yeah, we
right.
do have another pause. That is Welsh short key.
That looks like the
Like
Corki butt
ShowMaker.
thing.
That is the Corki butt.
In those, I believe what the girl was eating. You saw that box next to it? Those were the chili fries here at Lowell Park.
Chili fries?
Amazing. Can't quite eat them anymore, though.
Why not?
Or I can.
Why? What's going on?
Too many calories.
What?
Does. Yeah, too many.
All right.
Can't do it anymore.
Okay.
And that's a DAMWON sign right there.
Awesome team for awesome fans.
Oh, it's the Mandark sign.
There he is. He's
That's
back.
Mandark after he's grown up. Look at those cheekbones. Amazing. Kanghan top solo. It's like really strong top solo killer.
Yeah.
Nuguri. Well, he's not looking very happy right now. He's very disappointed with the current pause.
He's like, I wanted to play up against Sword. This is not what I signed up against. Not what I signed up for today. I wanted to have, you know, another day where I dunk on Sword, but it's not the case. He'll just have to dunk on Doran and be happy with it.
Well, as we are waiting for the game to resume, I wonder if GRIFFIN feels pressure.
Ooh, ShowMaker wasn't able to get the rune he selected, so
Ooh.
we are going to look at the replay and decide whether or not to remake the lobby.
So ShowMaker not having the rune that he selected. I wonder how they're going to check. I assume the first-person view. Interestingly enough, I believe a dilemma similar to this just happened, but in a sort of different regard. It wasn't with a rune, it was with an item. In the LEC, someone sold an item, I believe it was a Essence Reaver, but then the replay or game graph or something showed that they did sell it, but they intended to sell the potion. But then ProView, interestingly enough, showed that they did only try to sell the potion. Something like that. You're following.
What?
ProView. You know what ProView is?
Yeah, I know what
okay.
ProView is.
So ProView came in later to save the day, but it was already too late.
Okay.
That is Pengu. I'm waiting for Riot merchandise to get Teamfight Tactics stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Because I need all the Pengus.
You're going to get all of the
I'm going to get
Pengus?
all of them. I'm going to have an army of Pengus.
Is that what you play with in the game?
Feather, absolutely.
Feather
What
Knight?
do you play with?
Or Pengu?
Go ahead and tell me something like Silverwing. You strike me as a Silverwing kind of guy.
Silverwing? No, never.
You probably run at people.
I'm a Moldiver player.
Of course you are.
He digs the grave immediately now.
He digs you down to your tier.
Hey, tier's a good item. It makes the demon
No, that's not what I was. I'm talking about the tier, like your ranking.
Yeah, I'm bronze 3. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Now, now tell everyone your tier in TFT.
What?
I did you dirty right there.
Oh boy, you caught me.
Leaked.
Well, I mean, we're gonna see if this gets figured out anytime soon. As you messed up the rune, you gotta live with it. So I'm not sure what they're looking at. The only way that ShowMaker could get out of this situation is if he clearly chose one rune and then it bugged and gave him a different rune. Has that ever happened to you, Ellis?
Yes, actually. I ended up with Spellbook Karthus.
Oh, nice.
That was
You
very
can teleport to the top lane
Yep.
to take the farm when you're top laning, guys.
Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah.
One time, though, it wasn't the rune bugged out, but I just apparently didn't save. I ended up with Aftershock Karthus. That was something.
Yeah. That doesn't sound very good.
No. Really. It's still probably better than Mordekaiser in TFT, but
Yeah, I mean, anything's
pretty-
better than that.
yeah.
I mean, he's iron, right? Get it because he's made of metal.
You're so smart.
I know.
Oh, it looks like we will be granted the remake. They're gonna do the exact same ban pick.
Yeah.
Imagine if they change it up.
Same thing
Change.
that we saw. Imagine they change it and they like wait 5 minutes.
Oh.
They're like, oh, maybe we have to restart this.
I don't know if I told this story on stream here or on the cast before,
Uh-huh.
but Korea used to have this thing called manor builds in StarCraft 1,
Yeah.
which was if a game was ever remade for any reason, you had to do the same build order
Yeah.
and try to almost replicate the same building placement. And if you didn't, it wasn't illegal or against rules, just everyone didn't like you anymore.
It was manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they called it manor building.
Yeah.
And there was one instance where a pro didn't do he changed something up in his build order that gave him a massive advantage. Everyone didn't like him after that.
I mean, you know, if there are no specific rules, then I think eventually one person is going to take advantage of it, unfortunately. But, yeah, don't be that guy, is what Ellis is trying to say. As we are not going to do the BN build here, it will be the same manner draft that we had the last time. Otherwise, we would actually disqualify them. It is against the rules here. Zach was the final pick. It's the new old Zach, or the old new Zach. I don't know which way makes more sense, but he is reverted back to when he would do his bouncy thing a bunch of times instead of just the one where he swallows up all the champions and brings them back to the team. No more kidnap. He's more of a disruptor now.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of people complained, actually, after Zach was reverted again, which was interesting. We'll see what Tarzan's going to be able to pull off on him here today, as if any of his laners fall behind, they're going to have a really, really bad time. That fan is pretty interesting, that fan sign.
Yeah.
The chili fries. That was the real highlight on our screen.
It's the Welsh Shorky, ShowMaker Corki. That's what the sign means. As, yeah, we're not going to redo the AR. We only have a designated amount of times we can show that to the fans. So it's going to be on the wall for you guys. Hopefully you can see that there. I just want to get into the League of Legends. That's really all I'm
Have you
waiting
submitted an application?
for the League of Legends.
If you wanted to get into the League of Legends. Okay.
When are they going to make the Valdez champion? What are my abilities going to be, you think?
They have that.
I want to have, yeah, I'm kind of like Jax, right? The hockey skin.
Nope.
I'm like him.
No.
Yeah.
Jax's old lore used to be that he never lost. so that can't be you.
I guess it's impossible.
I've watched you play
Sorry.
before.
Oh boy. Well, we got some League of Legends. Let's listen to the fans. Okay. Well, we're ready to jump into this one. As ShowMaker, he got his Corki skin once again. He's playing Corki to the surprise of nobody. But up in the top side, Doran, who is more known for playing carry champs and not stuff like Vladimir, is going to be going over to the Irelia instead. So I'm really going to be focusing on how he does in that lane against Nuguri.
Also interesting to note, he took the corrupting potion. So he's been corrupted.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
He's really angry after game one.
No longer the man that made the ring, the blade, and the shield. He has been corrupted, Valdez. This is like it's a bad sci-fi flick.
It's gone over to the dark side.
It really
like
has,
that, you know?
yeah.
It's like, oh, he's got the evil potion now.
Right.
Wow, that's really
and
interesting.
Tarzan's using the evil Majin Buu skin. So we have a lot of stuff going on in this game. But remember, GRIFFIN, their team composition does lose out to DAMWON. So yet again, they're gonna, well, in the later stages of the game it does. So the same thing. Now, this game, again, Open Dragon spawn as the first one. So, not the best RNG for GRIFFIN.
Yeah, they're just not, they got to work on their RNG skills, I think. Just a little bit more. They're pretty good at League of Legends, but rolling the dice, they got to work on their form. As at the end of the last game, I wanted to give a little tidbit. That was the first time, right, that DAMWON was able to win against GRIFFIN. At the end, ShowMaker was saying, wow, I'm so happy I could almost cry.
Yeah.
Talking to Nuguri and just saying, oh my god, we've finally done it. We finally defeated them. And, yeah, I mean, it must feel pretty good to break that curse of 13-0, now 13-1, the unlucky number for GRIFFIN. And I think Papa Smithy was also in the chat. He mentioned how BeryL was the only person on the DAMWON lineup to actually take a win against GRIFFIN, playing 80 carry in 2017 in the Challenger Series. So not even in the LCK. Just a nice little tidbit there from our good old Daddy Smithy, knowing his history.
Well, let's see if DAMWON can close it out here today. 2-0. That would really be a feat. If they can really overcome it. Tarzan, he's right around here. I don't know if Nuguri caught wind of him being around here.
I do not think so. Just his path was so strange, and now this is totally unexpected. Can Nuguri get out of this one? He's not even going to flash. He's trying to fight here, but Doran is going to pick up first blood here, as a nice little amount of pathing is going to get Tarzan ahead for his team.
What if I told you that Nuguri's still ahead? Because I think he is.
Okay.
He got the whole wave. The wave's coming into him, and Tarzan shared XP with Doran. This is a really subtle thing that sometimes happens, where you gank and kill the top laner, but your laner's still behind. I think that's actually what. Yeah, I think that's what's happened right now. Is Nuguri's ahead off the gank.
Ooh.
This is a feels bad man moment, Valdez.
Does feel pretty bad, although it looks like Nuguri did go up top and immediately shove it in.
And this is a byproduct of all of that XP share and the lane state that Nuguri had it in when the gank occurred. So even though the gank was successful, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Top lane is still behind, and that means that Tarzan, he falls behind in tempo to Canyon.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like everything is going wrong as he's trying to do the big-time ganks here. He's going to miss that one, but is able to pull Nuclear in. The stun now, and the flash from Tarzan is able to slam that blobby fist down as Doran might just be solo killed here. Very close. The flash in, and Nuguri's going to get the Triumph rock as a solo kill now from Nuguri over Doran.
And so even though Tarzan was able to get that pressure going down in bottom lane, top is really the snowbally lane that can get out of control. Viper Picks up a plate right now, as also his Kleptomancy, I think, is doing quite well. And so GRIFFIN, they're finding success yet again in the bottom lane. But that top lane, if last match was any indication, this one can definitely be a lot scarier because the matchup is a lot more volatile.
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta hurt, right? We are gonna get another look here at the kill in the bottom side onto BeryL.
You take a look at how this all ends up transpiring. Tarzan comes in, lands those stretching strikes, and told Rakan that he wasn't feeling it today.
I want to see how this happens. So Doran just went in for the cannon, and he tried to take a trade instead of backing away, and that's really what led to his death.
Flash comes in, and he has it because he didn't use it in the gank before, and he might have just chose not to use it because he knew that he was still ahead, even though he was getting ganked, and he ended up dying. And so top lane is really going to be feeling the pressure. You can see Nuguri has an XP advantage right now still. It's already level 6 to 5. I don't know if we'll see 7 to 6 end up occurring in its full-fledged state. But Canyon only level 4 right now, actually. Tarzan doing quite well off the gank in bottom, has a temporary level advantage. Scuttlecrab spawning on the left-hand side. This favors Tarzan's RNG for his pathing. And everyone's going to know where Tarzan is right now, thanks to the ward that Canyon placed down. He does hit level 5 now. Wave is still being pushed by Nuguri. And given the current ward placement, if Tarzan comes up, oh, it's 7 to 5.
Yeah, 7 to 5. And
wow.
Doran is just getting rocked here in the top lane. Against Tarzan's best efforts, everything seems to be going wrong up there. And they've got forward vision. As you mentioned, they know where Tarzan is. They have 2 control wards in the red side jungle, too. So it's not even just the one normal ward. Canyon, seeing the Zac on the top side, knows that Nuguri is totally fine. He's able to start this Ocean Drake and get DAMWON off to a good start once again.
They're going to get the open dragon down here unless Tarzan goes for a steal. Doesn't look like it.
Wow, flash away. As trying to go for the kill up in the top side here is Doran, but doesn't quite have the damage. Nuguri very calmly just going to walk away from that one.
Canyon and Dragon Pit name a more iconic duo. That's all.
The guy's got a lot of trouble up there. I don't know what's going on with him.
Doran has one timing to salvage this.
Oh, nice
and it's
stun.
right now.
Trying to go
Oh,
in, and he is
no.
going to get the kill on the backside of it. It wasn't the cleanest one, but he gets the kill and denies a bunch of XP and gold underneath that turret.
And that's a really big kill because of what you just mentioned about all the XP and gold underneath the turret. If Nuguri didn't die right there, top lane state is irrecoverable. And so really clutch for him to be able to get that in the very end. As we take another look at it, you can see that the wave is coming in, and Irelia, being the cheater champion that she is, down an entire level. Yes, Nuguri misses the shock blast, but Vanguard's Edge comes out. Nuguri's super low on HP, and you can see that he's posturing around the turret because he knows my jungler's on the bottom side of the map right now. I need to outplay the dive, or I'm just going to give up way too much. He plays it really good, but Doran still having that flash available, able to get on top of him and kill him. As Canyon now maybe looking to make a play happen as this wave crashes, and this would be a way to salvage this. Doran takes a little bit of poke.
Word comes down. They know that he's here now. Tarzan around the area. This Canyon just throwing out a Q. Is not going to commit to the dive as they see Tarzan come on up here.
And he's waiting right on the edge. Nuguri about 8.5 after this last, oh no, a little bit more, maybe 8.6. As Doran, he's catching up. He did hit level 8.
Yeah. Props to him for making the play happen. As, you know, imagine going into your first series against one of the best top laners in the LCK in the world. I mean, it's not the easiest feat. You think you're getting help for your from your jungler when you're actually not really. And to still be able to turn it around, we got to give him credit. So props to Doran for being able to pull it off.
He's going to still be under a bit of pressure right now. Jayce still ways away from the Black Cleaver As Canyon, he's looking to start that Rift Herald immediately at 10 minutes. Tarzan might have an inclination this is happening, and it could be a good timing here for GRIFFIN as Lehends, never mind. Oh, will Lehends turn around and head there? He will.
We have a TP coming in now from BeryL, as Chovy is going to have to try to walk around that trail. Should be able to. Trying to dunk down onto the Zac. There's the charm. As the Rift Herald picked up here by DAMWON. Canyon is going to be traded for Doran, it looks like. But who's going down next? As Chovy is going to get that reset. DAMWON just trying to run away here. As BeryL is going to go for the flash and the grand exit here. Trying to save his life as Nuguri. And he might just be able to with that knockback. They've got a lot of poke on the backside, and ShowMaker was thinking about continuing, but they saved their support's life. And they get that Rift Herald.
They got the Rift Herald. They got so much value out of this as well with 3 minutes remaining, a minute and a half until the next dragon. And now this better benefits Canyon's pathing inside of the jungle. And DAMWON are finding a lot of edges and advantages in this game. They should easily be able to convert into the Infernal. ShowMaker, yeah, how about I have a little bit more gold here against Chovy? Pick up some turret plate. That is one fed puppy. You know,
well fed.
Everyone always talks about Corki getting all the credit. No one ever talks about the dog.
Yeah, I mean, it really is the
dog. What is the dog's name? Valdez. I'll give you the opportunity.
Valdez? No, it's not Valdez.
You can name him.
I like Buddy.
That's a horrible name. You can't name him.
Do you revoke my rights?
Absolutely.
What do you want to name him?
His,
Yeah, see, it's a lot harder when the pressure's
you know
on,
what?
right, LS?
You don't get to do this to me. I'll come back to you on it.
Okay.
I'll think about it. As we take a look here at the replay, Rift Herald being captured. Excellent knockaway right there. Tarzan not able to get the smite. Canyon picks it up before Chovy knocks him up. As a ward was placed right at the very end. Doesn't really matter. ShowMaker doing the most that he possibly can. BeryL flashing away from that. Managed to jump over to Nuguri. And then right at the very end, it was so close with the knockaway. Coming in clutch.
Yeah,
so now Infernal Drake. Yeah.
And Infernal Drake.
Nuguri has teleport. Maybe he just wants turret plates, but that would be a poor decision.
Oh, he's teleporting right on that bot lane once this
yep,
showed him away. And they're going in for the play. Tarzan is going to go low immediately, but a big knockup by the side of GRIFFIN, trying to chunk down on that Jayce, and they will get that reset as the bottom lane of DAMWON now on the run as well. We got 2 separate fights here. Nuclear desperately is going to be able to get away from that one, but the bottom lane not quite as lucky as they're both going to go down, and GRIFFIN will win the fight.
GRIFFIN wins the fight, and they're going to get the Infernal Dragon. And so this is a massive wake-up for them. It's not every day, by the way, that I get to see one of the winning team's champions highlighted. 135 AD right now for Aatrox. He gets 13 off that. Quite good. A long sword in 1/3 will be the value that he gets from the Infernal Dragon. Now you can see right here, ShowMaker, he is coming in with some sort of a flank. World Ender comes out. Aatrox just doing immense damage. BeryL gets zoned away pretty quickly. Nuguri ends up going down. Doran, he's chasing right here against Canyon and BeryL. He already picked up a ring. Now he's going to get the shield and the blade right there for the triple kill.
Big old triple kill for him, as he has had a action-packed game so far. He's 5-3 up in the top lane. And he's not even that far behind on Nuguri here, so once again just showing up and having the presence of mind to go the correct way and be able to pick up those 2 kills on the back of the fight. Taking a big trade here, yeah.
Oh, and gives away the location as well. As he missed the Q. Canyon behind on XP from Tarzan, and now the Irelia is getting really scary. And because she's the one that has all the gold, it offsets the imbalance in item spikes that I talked about in the draft phase, where Irelia normally has to pick up the Tiamat and then go into Trinity Force. Makes it very awkward to line up with the first item completion of her teammates. But with With all that gold that she has, it should help with fixing that, as Canyon is going to get the red buff. And they're going to... That was that. Oh. Okay.
Nuguri's fine.
He's fine.
Not too bothered.
Corki was coming too.
Yeah. This bottom side, the plates are all off of the turret, so there actually weren't that many taken here in this game, but nice amount of damage nonetheless by Viper and Lehends so far down on the bottom side. We still have to remember the Corki in the mid lane. I mean, this guy is going the most greedy builds. He hasn't died, right? Hasn't picked up any kills either, but he's got a call, Kleptomancy, and he already has his first item. So we'll see if he can replicate the damage he was able to output in game number 1.
We'll have to see indeed, as he's going to be one of the main focal points for DAMWON in the later stages of the game. The Corki's going to be really important against the Griffin team composition. He has an experience lead right now. I'm not sure how big it is. Chovy's still 11 and just got 12 off the wave, so he's only about a wave ahead. Not super impossible in terms of a gap that can be closed. As, okay, ShowMaker now getting pan 2 yet again. Maybe going to try to bait Chovy into taking a trade right here. There's no vision on the left-hand side, so Chovy playing right side of the lane.
This game could definitely turn into a fun one here, especially if Doran ends up popping off and being the big carry.
And then he gets the MVP.
Yeah, his first game, you know, he was bleeding. I mean, he was a Vladimir. I'm sure he was a little bit happy about that as the Vladimir, but other than that, he kind of got dunked in that lane. Nuguri just slammed down the auto pick on the Jayce in first pick for DAMWON, and he's able to pick a better lane for himself, and so far he's been doing pretty well. We'll see if he can keep it up here.
He has the option to freeze right now, but not taking it. There's no plates to really capture. He's not pressured to try to get any sort of a kill, and you have to know that Doran, he's still a little bit ways away from the Trinity Force completion. And you can see a ping going down onto the turret might be signifying that he wants to capture it. As Infernal Dragon's coming up in 50 seconds, Nuguri will not have teleport available for it.
Yeah, whereas Doran does. And you can see that Griffin are trying to put on pressure in the bottom side before this even starts.
Oh, man.
They might just be able to. Tarzan and Chovy behind them here, trying to bully BeryL already, who's going to have to exit out of there. And you can see that DAMWON not able to get much on the back of this play, as ShowMaker just going to push in the one wave, but Nuguri had to back and come towards the Infernal Drake.
And so now Griffin, they're going to be the ones with the low ground. And this is going to be really, really rough. Interesting to note, by the way, Nuguri, he picked up a Last Whisper, which is not something that you get to see that often on Jayce.
I feel like I forgot that item existed.
Yeah.
Nobody really builds it nowadays.
Yeah, no one, it's not even in TFT.
Oh, Tarzan really trying to get something going here. He's going to bonk a couple of heads together, but he's all alone in the backside. Finally, Chovy comes in, but the re-engage. But Doran trying to go to the back line. Can he do it alone?
Chovy!
The answer is going to be no, and it's going to be all up to Chovy to try to salvage this situation, but he's going to get dunked on the back here.
Oh, World Ender's out!
All of this poke from the side of DAMWON is going to be more than enough, and Viper can't do it alone. Griffin going in one by one. They will be punished by DAMWON.
And now that's going to be the Infernal Dragon going over to DAMWON. And this is a massive tempo swing for them. Griffin couldn't really afford to lose that fight. This is going to be the second turret of the game going down in mid lane as well, which is going to be really problematic for Griffin later on in mid-game posturing, team fights, whatnot. As we take a look at how this all ends up transpiring, Tarzan, he's going in by himself. He is full on Leroy Jenkins. Chovy not quite having enough. He said, all right, I guess I'll join in too. But it was a little bit too late, as that Aatrox just got dragged and tagged all around the fight. He got withered quite a bit. And then you can just see he's running around like a chicken with its head cut off. Doesn't really know what to do because the DAMWON team comp is so good at repositioning and being slippery. And GRIFFIN, they just weren't prepared, even though the stars aligned for them to have such superior position, especially because BeryL got chunked out so heavily. And all the pressure that happened in bottom, as well as Doran having the teleport advantage, and Nuguri having to have recalled.
Yeah, it did feel like Griffin's map state to win from. You know, they seemed to have control of the map, and they were trying to set it up. It was just the one-by-one play with all of the engage. If you get everybody in there at the same time, you got Irelia and Aatrox and Zac doing that with all the knockups and the damage you'll get from Irelia and Aatrox specifically, you're probably going to get resets, you'll get kills, and you'll be able to make it happen. But it seemed like they just played straight into DAMWON's hands, which is kind of more of what we're seeing from game one. It's very unfortunate to see from GRIFFIN, but DAMWON are just rolling with it really well. Just the way they're able to kite and poke from the backside of that fight is really impressive, and they deserve to be ahead in this current game.
Yeah, and you can also see that GRIFFIN is seemingly being a little uncharacteristic here. Spectre's Cowl picked up by Chovy. It's really misreading the situation. Doesn't matter if you have a little bit more magic resist in order to tank and be durable. That's not your problem in the team fights. Your problem is that you can't actually kill the champions in the short amount of time that you get on top of them because you don't have enough damage. But BeryL, I mean, he's not long for this world.
Yeah, he's all alone there. Just gets caught out, and that is one of the strengths of Zac. You got to be careful where you're walking. So they do pick up BeryL on the back of that one.
And now down here in bottom. Oh, he's going to get pulled in. Does a little bit of damage, and Jayce lets him know that he's angry.
Yeah. Slaps him right back. Not going to take any of that abuse.
And now the game is going to enter into a bit of a stale state.
Wait, what?
Stale.
You mean the lull state?
Oh.
I don't know what the stale state
is. That's
is.
what LS stands for. The lull state.
Yeah.
As I'm not sure what BeryL was doing around here. Neither team can really get Baron. The vision is essentially luxurious right now at this point because you know that neither team can really get Baron. So he ends up getting caught out. He goes down. And rapid fire cannon picked up on Corki. That's going to double. Wrong game. I was about to say it was just going to double his attack range, but that's not what's going on here. Yeah, imagine if it did. That would be quite imbalanced. More
just
reminder.
Every single champion in the game builds it.
Yeah.
Not sure about this one, Canyon. You're down 4 levels, but he does have Nuguri nearby, and that is why Chovy is going to back away. And again, my eyes are just always drawn towards the mid lane for DAMWON, right? I mean, now it's a Corki that picked up a kill and 2 more assists, plus all of the extra scaling items and runes that he picked up. And GRIFFIN have never really been able to put a stop to this so far, as Chovy will be forced to ultimate, but he's not ending any worlds here. As Canyon was thinking about the engage, if he got the kickoff, I think there was a chance that DAMWON could get the kill, as his flash was just down.
And GRIFFIN, you can see they're grouping up. They don't seem to know what to do right now, and there's not really a way to make DAMWON come out of their own safety, of their turrets, of the vicinity and whatnot. You don't have the ability to do a Baron bait. Open Dragon's coming up, so that's not really all that exciting. And so now we're going to do the LCK thing, but it's not just an LCK thing. It's an LEC, LCS, LPL thing. We're going to play ping pong with the lanes.
Yeah.
For a good 4 or 5 minutes. No one wants to freeze. Not yet.
Wouldn't it be nice if the team that's looking to scale is just sitting back with their lead and saying, hey, come to us. Yeah. You kind of have to. And they, you know, with an Ocean Drake on the map too, they're just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, take it. No one cares.
Go ahead. How about
How about a second one?
A third one in the game. They could just be sitting there behind their frozen lanes, farming it up.
You know what it reminds me of, right? It reminds me of Fiora and TFT. You get the first one, it's like, well, I hope I have some synergy for this. You get the second one, it's like, it still sucks. And then you get the third one, you're like,
even with the buffs?
You just slow down there,
yeah,
Valdez.
I mean, she attacks pretty fast.
She does attack fast. She's no Lucian, though.
No, Lucian's good. As, yeah, 6 to 9 in kills up at the top side. DAMWON ahead about 1,000. And they're really just happy to sit here. They're just taking a little break. You know, they get out the lawn chairs, the beach chairs. Just gonna sit under the sun for a little bit. As okay, we're taking a little look here at Zach.
That's a big jaw. He's gonna need to go see an orthodontist.
Yeah, he'll need some help with that.
Yeah, that's definitely. It's a very bizarre bite. He's gonna need to get that fixed.
Yeah, you never want that underbite.
Yeah.
No Jay Leno's here, but Zach is really trying to.
None of our viewers are old enough.
They don't know who Jay Leno is.
Oh man.
They're like the famous YouTuber? No, not him. Not the. I don't even know if there's a YouTuber, but there probably is. As the poke is real. I mean, the items are being hit. Corki's got 3. Kaisa's got 3. No doubt, Nuguri's got his. As I think it's a bit of a cheaper build, and now they're just poking him down, and you can see that people got to go back. We don't even have a Baron take here or anything like that. DAMWON are just straight up pushing them out of the lanes. And there's not much that GRIFFIN can do.
And GRIFFIN, they have some of their item completions coming in right now, but items are already completed for DAMWON. They have a slight gold advantage. They're matched on Infernals, and they have the superior scaling on their team comp. So DAMWON, the stars are really aligning today for them to take down GRIFFIN and really say something about the streak that is being broken. As GRIFFIN are continuing to look like they're floundering in the second round of Summer 2019 here.
Yeah, there were some moments that get you pog champing, but after that...
I'm sorry, what is that? Pog champing?
Yeah, pog champing.
Yeah,
what do you mean, what is pog champing?
What is pog champing, Valdez?
I mean, you're a Twitch guy. You know what that's about. You understand what pog champing is. It's just the verb, right? So
that's the future. 10 years from now, Twitch emotes are going to be used as verbs.
Oh, I mean, people are
verbs and
already
adjectives.
talk that way.
Yeah.
You don't have
Did you ever read that Reddit TIFU? Or no, wait, is it TIFU or is it what is it? The mom that banned her son from using Twitch chat lingo.
I saw that
you
one,
know
yeah.
what I'm talking about? I think Boy tweeted it. Pretty weird champ, but
that is the future that we're living in. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, I know people in real life, not going to call out any names, who on a regular basis will be like, "Oh man, I just, you know, I went outside. It was so hot. I was sweating. Man, it feels bad, man." It's like, really? Is that how we're going to talk from now on?
It's pretty weird, champ Valdez. I will be honest about it.
Seems good.
But whoever that person is sounds pretty monkas. So, you know what? I don't judge though.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But let's see if GRIFFIN can find themselves with a Poggers play, because that's going to be the only way that they're going to come back into the game.
I missed a good chance to hit you with the ay-ya-ya. LS, calm down over there. This is what we do in our spare time. We're professional Twitch chatters while we cast.
That needs to be a title. Yeah. Oh, man.
Professional coach, caster, and Twitch chatter. Low standards here with me on the desk.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's DAMWON scaling. They have so much room, and they're just like, okay, we dare you, GRIFFIN, to start a fight. And GRIFFIN's like, no thanks. We'll sit back and we'll wait.
I mean, it's only getting worse with each minute that passes. This is definitely not a situation that GRIFFIN wants to be in. And, you know, if it was the GRIFFIN of old, the one that would out-teamfight their opponents despite whatever deficit they found themselves in, whether it be from their draft or...
Oh, what? Look at that kick! That was insane! Canyon just popping off, and BeryL comes in from behind. Nice knock up there on the nuclear. Well, you can see that ShowMaker is totally safe here in the front line, actually. Doran
doesn't matter.
Trying to chip him down, but he's got way too much damage. Canyon just laughed in the face of Tarzan. That is one of the sickest plays. That's the read from downtown. The goal is real. Nuclear and DAMWON are styling and laughing in the face of GRIFFIN.
I think this is it, Valdez. 119. That's 911 backwards, but I think Griffin's going to be the one dialing it.
Someone call a doctor! Griffin are severely injured. Canyon just walked into
Doesn't matter.
He did it on purpose, the PM, GG. The amount of times that Canyon showed up against Tarzan and just got demolished and laughed at by Tarzan. This time around, he is the one laughing in the end as DAMWON and Canyon make quick work of Griffin. That wasn't even close in game 2.
That last fight was just an absolute blowout. We're probably going to see it one more time, but that's what we were talking about. Doesn't matter if the gold score at the top is close. The team compositions and the item differential are just so massive. And this is one of the things that I've been harping on a lot, in LCK especially, so that the drafts are really, really important between teams of similar skill level, especially. And you just reach these game states, and it's sort of exacerbated by the LCK's tendency to play a little bit slower, where the drafts will reach their designated states and come out. And it happened in both games here.
Man, that was an intense end, though. I mean, I was confident in DAMWON to come out in 2-0. I told multiple people backstage, I'm like, this is the match I'm really confident about. Griffin are just struggling in a big way. DAMWON are just, they have certainly reached a new tier. From before Rift Rivals into Rift Rivals to now. From the game that ShowMaker popped off on Akali up against Kingzone, nothing has been the same for this team. Everybody is on a new level. Even Canyon, that was just looking lost so many times early on in the split. DAMWON Gaming are just unbelievable now, reaching this new level. And they top it off with that last team fight. I didn't even know how to call that one. That's like nothing I've ever seen before, LS.
Yeah, it was a really clean team fight where Griffin just didn't have any real way to fight back. As ShowMaker is continuing to make some nice faces for the cameras.
He's enjoying the spotlight, and he knows that...
wow. We have a long break coming up.
Yeah, I mean, DAMWON are not wasting any time with this matchup today. They say, Griffin, who are they? We want to get our revenge over Kingzone in the playoffs, right? We're just looking past Griffin right now. That's what that 2-0 says to me. Yeah,
and I mean, it was really, really decisive. Once again, we're getting to see this fantastic butt of the Corki skin.
Yeah.
I still didn't come up with a name for the Corki dog, but that's the real carry here. As we take a look once again at this TOS of a team fight. So, Tarzan, he jumps right in. Leroy Jenkins in the flesh gets absolutely eviscerated. Rest of the members left to get knocked up. Aatrox probably feeling like he's in next patch right now, but doesn't really matter. Lehends going to get brought down shortly thereafter. Chovy goes golden. It just doesn't matter. Viper cannot enter the fight. ShowMaker deals so much damage, as well as Nuclear. And then watch this prediction right here. Pretty nice. You know what, ShowMaker? He's flashing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They said end, definitely end.
They said it's over.
Yeah.
Giving us a little song of the nice. The song of his people, as it's always nice when ShowMaker and DAMWON hit the rift. Man, that's something that really opens your eyes. If you were like, oh, I'm not sure about these DAMWON fellas, just watch this series and you're like, okay, I think I get it.
Yeah.
There's something to be said, though, about the draft, as you were talking about. I think Griffin didn't really know what was going on there. I think they got beat in both drafts, and they gave ShowMaker Corki twice, which is always a question mark.
Yeah.
As well as Jayce for Nuguri. I mean, it's kind of hard to ban him out, but it does feel like DAMWON won in many stages.
And this is the gank that I talked about where, interestingly enough, Nuguri was still ahead, and it's because they shared XP on so many minions. See that happen in solo queue quite often. But Tarzan, not to be outdone, he found another thing down here in bottom lane. He got the bottom lane rolling, but then Doran misses the stun here onto Nuguri, and he got clapped for it.
The knockback, beautiful. The follow-up, really nice. This is one of the fights where GRIFFIN were actually able to take a nice one as Doran picked up the triple kill.
Yeah, this happened both games. The Irelia just got super big off of this fight. Chovy was doing so much work for his team inside of it. They got the Infernal Drake off it as well, but they just don't do anything else off of that. And so everything begins to fall apart. Tarzan, it wasn't the first time he Leroy Jenkins. This was another instance of it occurring inside of the game. Everyone was just off tempo. Aatrox couldn't do anything inside of this fight.
Too.
Even though Canyon went down, look at Chovy. He's like, well, what do you want me to do right here? And this is one of the problems with the Strangler Ezreal type thing, where the Aatrox and the Irelia, they need to do enough for him to pick up the pieces, but if they're dropping like flies, there's not much he can do. This was a donation. All right. Definitely a tax break right there for DAMWON Gaming.
Pretty good about that one.
And then I really don't quite know what GRIFFIN was thinking, as this is pretty one-sided.
Yeah. It's a nice knockup from Lehends. This fight would look even worse if he didn't get that one play, but I mean, that was one of the few, plays where someone on the side of GRIFFIN actually did anything, so gotta shout them out for a moment. As other than that, it was really just the DAMWON show in this game and for this series. Wow, that's going to leave a lasting impression on me and also on the fans, no doubt, here as DAMWON and GRIFFIN. I mean, they don't even look like the same team they were in the first round. Just have to wonder how long is this slump going to end or last.
It's not GRIFFIN anymore, Valdez. It's Griff out.
Wow.
That was bad. That was really
wow.
they're out of the game. I just tried to think of how terrible could I do
Good
that?
try, yeah. There are a couple
do it quite bad.
from Twitch chat that are much better than that one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Trying to hurt my feelings.
There you go. It was just another one of these games where ShowMaker's like, yeah, I guess I'll just sit in mid lane and farm up 3 items. And, what are you going to do about it? GRIFFIN said, oh, nothing. We'll just let you have it. It's fine.
Well, not a lot of damage here on the side of GRIFFIN. And that means that we're going to go to the winner's interview soon. But the big question now remains for them, what is really happening and can they fix it before playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, with their losing streak now, it feels weird to say, but there's even a good chance that they don't make it. Not a good chance, but there is a chance that they don't make it. I mean, we have 7 teams here, right? Yesterday, FLICKR kind of pushed themselves away from the 7 teams, and we kind of shortened it down to 6 teams, but there's still a chance, right? I mean, if GRIFFIN keep losing and everybody else keeps winning, then no doubt that could happen, as ShowMaker is going to pick up the MVP for this one. Unkillable in this game, a ridiculous amount of damage and really nice poise in this last fight.
Yeah, and you can just see everything that's going on inside of this team fight. He's getting so much valuable damage off. Gatling gun doing quite a bit, as well as the rockets, and the Corki damage just super good. As GRIFFIN uncharacteristically uncoordinated in both of these games when it came to the team fights.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it's going to be one big VOD for, well, it's not that big. It was only 2 games, and both of them were pretty short for the side of GRIFFIN, but they are going to have to go back and study those and find a way to come back in this one. As, again, the pressure's on. There are so many good teams here at the LCK, and DAMWON's one of them. We're going to have to hear from them now. I'm going to hand it over to Jayce for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason with the translation, and we'll be hearing from BeryL, ShowMaker from DAMWON Gaming. You guys are on the first place with 2-0 victory. Congratulations. So I asked you guys to celebrate together on stage, so thank you for the follow. So, I cannot wonder the biggest curse, and you guys finally broke it. So BeryL, how did the preparation go, and how did you feel on your way to the venue today? Well, you know, the record is record, so I was a bit nervous. However, the game did go quite well, so I'm feeling a bit comfortable now.
그리고 쇼메이커 선수
And ShowMaker.
정말 눈물 날 것 같다.
I heard you saying that you're almost like crying in the mic check. So did you really cry?
울지 않는 남자여서
I'm a guy that doesn't cry.
그냥 말로만 했어요.
So I was just saying it.
네, 쇼메이커 선수도 승리 소감
So
들어볼게요.
ShowMaker, how do you feel about the win?
2년 만에 이겨가지고
It
약간
took
꿈
2
같고
years, so it's
이런
so
날이
surreal. It's like a
올까
dream.
생각했었는데
I was always dreaming about the
좀-
day to come.
네, 뭔가 그러네요.
So I'm really
진짜
just like
감동적이었어요.
cannot believe it.
쇼메이커 선수 아직도 좀 몸이 안 좋으시다면서요?
ShowMaker, I heard you're not feeling.
그때보단 나아졌는데
completely well yet.
네,
Yeah, I'm not that sick,
네, 이렇게 힘든
but
와중에도 팀을 승리로
I'm still not
이끌었습니다.
at my full condition
베릴
right
선수의
now.
알리스타가 1세트에 나왔죠.
And BeryL, you played Alyssa in game number 1, which had the biggest super play in Rift Rivals. Well, I'm curious that Alyssa is not a top tier champion, but how are you able to always carry the game?
그냥 저는
Well, I just,
피지컬 좋은
you know,
선수들을
we have a
때문에 그냥
damage
앞에서
dealer doing
적절히
with
맞아주고
such a great
심한
mechanic, so I'm just playing champion that can put in CC to the opponents and tank all the damage, so that's why I always play Alyssa.
대단했고요. 자, 알리스타가 그 활약이 교전 때 정말
So
빛났습니다.
Alyssa, the contribution in every fight was really huge, so let's go through the highlight together.
들어보고 싶어요.
이때 세주안이가
So
용을
here,
킬하려고 안에 들어와서
I saw Sejuani trying to steal the dragon. So and then I saw Vladi coming in, so I just pushed him away, and I wanted a 4v5 team fight. So that's why I just like used W on Vlad and then used Q later.
블라디라는 챔프가 이렇게
Because
어그로 핑퐁이 한번
Vladimir is good with aggro plays, so I just want to like put in all my skills to one champion. So I just waited till I was holding up my Q.
이 판단이 제대로 먹혔습니다. 자, 그리고 2세트는
And game number 2, ShowMaker.
탑 제이스 미드 코르키를 상대가 또
So,
풀어줬습니다.
Once again, Griffin opened the top Jayce and mid Corki.
딱히 뭐 가져왔다 이런 정도.
I didn't really feel like think that like we were able to get the best pick, but we just thought like if we just keep going on with our the plays that we prepared, I think we will win. And then Tarzan played Zac today, which is not a very usual pick.
자크는 그냥
Well,
깜짝 놀래가지고.
I was actually surprised,
자크 그냥
but
뭔가
I think
그냥
Zac,
신경 안 쓰고 그냥
I wasn't really too
하면
bothered. Yeah, just doing my plays.
자크를 꽉 묶어내는 모습이 또 나왔는데요. 교전 장면 화면으로
And we have
만나보시죠.
this highlight of a skirmish. Let's go through it together.
이때 시야가 없는 상황이었는데
So there was no vision in that brush.
이때 사실은 몰랐고.
So I didn't know he would be there.
하다 갑자기 자크가 점프 뛰어가지고.
And then suddenly he just like jumped out of the brush. So Kejan just kicked him and yelling like Zac, Zac,
자크
Zac.
포커싱하고.
So we were focusing on Zac. That's the main focal point of that team fight.
성대모사 잘 들었습니다. 자, 이렇게 담원이 상대를 잡아내고 이 뒤에 이어지는 교전에서도
So
계속해서 압도적인 모습
after that,
보여줬고요. 마지막
Damwon was controlling all the fights, and then the snipe from Kaiza ended the game.
이렇게 2대 0으로 담원이
So today you
승리했습니다.
guys picked
아마
up
보신
2-0 victory
팬분들,
up against
코칭
Griffin.
스태프분들, 뭐
So
선수들까지
I
모두
mean,
너무
all the
행복한 날이 아닐까
players,
싶어요.
fans, even the coaching
쇼메이커
staff would be
선수는
really
빅
happy.
생일이잖아요.
And I heard you're having your birthday in 2 days. I guess this can be one of your presents, right? Any plans for your birthday?
휴가 아마 휴가일 텐데.
I think that's gonna be our vacation, so I'm just gonna play TFT.
장난이고
Placements?
조금 하면서 그냥
I'm just kidding, you know. I'm just gonna be like solo queue grinding.
나쁘지 않더라고요.
But TFT ain't bad, to be honest.
게임과 함께 즐거운 생일 되시길
I hope you
바라겠고요. 자, 그리고
Have a
베리
great
선수,
birthday playing games, and
감사드릴 분들,
BeryL.
축하드릴 분들 너무 많지만
Any
그래도
last
팀원들도
message
가장
for your
고생하지 않을까
teammates?
싶어요.
You know,
지금 아마
all the teammates
대기실에서
who
화면
have
보고
been
있을
working
텐데
so hard to get that
팀원들에게
win up
좀
against
칭찬의
Griffin.
말, 우리
Any
다 함께
compliments,
고생했다,
praises?
감사의 말 한번 부탁드려도 될까요? 화면 보시면서.
오늘
Well, today
상대방이 그리핀이어서
our
아마
opponent
다들
was
좀
Griffin.
긴장을
I know
많이
that all of
했을
you guys
텐데
must
그래도
have been really
잘해주고
nervous,
이겨서
but
고마워.
thank you for all the great work and making it to a 2-0 victory.
네,
Thank you.
감사합니다. 자, 다음 경기가 샌드박스입니다.
And
연승
your
다시
next
쌓아가야겠죠?
opponent
베리
will
선수
be
각오
Sandbox.
들어볼게요.
So how are we going to prepare for that?
샌드박스도 저희 이렇게 첼코 팀에서
Well, Sandbox
거의
is a
반반인
team
스코어가 많았거든요.
That
그래서
I mean,
서로
we always have a
잘해주면
50-50
아마
record since the Challenges Korea.
이기는
So
매치가 나올 것 같기도 해요.
So it's gonna be a very exciting match.
쇼메이커 선수도 각오 들려주세요.
What about you, ShowMaker?
저번에 저희가
But last time
땡박을 좀 압도적으로 이겼다고
we had a
생각해서
very
이
one-sided
폼만
victory
유지하면 쉽게 이길 수 있을 것
up
같아요.
against Sandbox. So if we remain this performance, I think
자,
it's
오늘
gonna be another easy win for us.
그리핀을 꺾고 2년 만에 수건을 풀었다는
Congratulations
말씀을
once again
드리면서
for taking down
이
Griffin
이벤트는
after
아무래도
2 years,
기대가
and
돼요. 정말
thank you very much for
축하드리고요.
this interview
네,
as well. So
감사합니다.
this will be
조심히
the end
들어가세요.
of the interview with
감사합니다.
BeryL, ShowMaker from
네,
DAMWON
다음
Gaming. I'm
게임에
gonna pass it back to our
베리
casters.
선수,
Thank
쇼메이커
you.
선수 함께했습니다.
Thank you, G-Sun, for the wonderful translation, as always. And, yeah, nice to hear from them. I liked his shout-out to TFT saying, hey, it ain't bad. So we know that ShowMaker has played it.
I mean, it's all that you can play these days, you know what Catch my wind, Valdez.
Yeah.
DAMWON, they secure, I mean, they have their first place slot right now. And Kingzone and Sandbox are both hot on their tail. And then once you go down the list, I mean, it really is close between the top 7. All
Oh,
of
yeah.
the scores are very, very similar for the most part. And then we don't talk about 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah. We just call them 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, we just call them 8, 9, and 10.
Or the bottom 3.
The bottom 3, right.
Or the bottom 2 and 1, which I do sometimes. But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, it's a very competitive summer this time around. Literally any of the top 7 have a chance of making it in. You know, even FLICKR could go on a massive run at the end, and who knows, maybe they make it in. Maybe they squeak by, because it's going to be a difference of game score. It's going to be a difference of, you know, one series, or even a head-to-head tiebreaker could make the difference. So every single game matters. Every time you go up against an opponent, doesn't matter who it is, you would like to take the 2-0 to have a better chance. Our next matchup, guys, in about an hour, is going to be Kingzone versus Gen G. Gen G and Kingzone both on massive winning streaks. Should be a very close and exciting match. Make sure you guys tune in then.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling, oh, with your fuel. You're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. This is the beginning. Together we'll be winning. With you I'm a savage. Make my sorrow silly. 'Cause with you I'm feeling feather-light. Light like a feather, light like the wind. I'll fly together to wherever you've been. You taught me loving without the pain. You're all I need. I'm feeling feather-light. I'll fight until